back to Drafty Dames. I'm Cassie.
And I'm Sara.
And today we are talking about things that make you say, what'd you just say?
Yeah.
You know, like working in customer service. You hear a lot of stuff. People say a lot of things that they shouldn't in public or at all. But especially not to strangers in public.
Yeah.
So we're going to go over some stories within like probably the past 6 months.
Roughly, yeah.
That I've been able to remember, and really not any further than that, because I started taking notes when I found out I was getting a podcast, because I knew I wanted to talk about this one day.
Yes.
So Sara, our brains, once again, has some statistics. A lot of it is on, a lot of the comments that were made to me are considered sexual harassment. So she has a lot of facts and resources about that. Some of my things are just like, what? I can't believe you just said that, whether they be like racist or just like freaking rude. And then sometimes they're dirty and gross.
Yeah.
So a lot of mine are from when I worked at the bank. I didn't even want to try to remember further back than that. And I probably wouldn't get details and things misquoted, and I just didn't want to. So these are the things that are pretty fresh in my memory, and or I took a note of it when it happened. So obviously the all the time, every day, much prettier when you smile. Like, that's just fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like not here to look pretty for you.
Yeah.
And if I don't want to smile, I'm not gonna. But I'm usually a pretty smiley person, and I know you have to smile in customer service, but after
Some days just
Yeah.
RBF is, it's got to come out.
and like after my initial, hey, how are ya? Like, just let me do my work. Like, I don't have to like plaster it on all day.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I'm even going to say about that, because everyone's been told that. Like,
Yeah.
it's just fucking annoying. So a guy came in, and I asked him, hey, how are you? What are we doing? We doing a deposit today? And he's like, yeah. And he says, you should probably stop bleaching your hair. That's it. That's the comment. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And
Because that's what I asked you.
yeah, like he was just like looking at me. I wasn't even like making small talk with him, and he's like, you should probably stop bleaching your hair. And I'm like, what? I was like, I don't. And like I had like lightened it from coming back from red or something, and that's it.
Yeah.
And my fellow teller, bless her, was like, you do know the sun like lightens hair, right? And she's a natural blonde, and the ends just naturally get lighter. She's like, I'm from Virginia. I used to have blonde hair, because it just does that, which whether or not that's why my hair was light, whatever, like, shut up.
Yeah.
That
doesn't matter.
I didn't say, oh, hey, John, what hair color would you prefer me have?
Yeah.
Oh, no bleach, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
Sorry. Didn't realize you had to look at me.
I wore more makeup one day, and at least 5 people told me how much more well-rested and refreshed I looked. So that's cool. Like, thank you.
Thanks.
Like,
Appreciate that.
sorry, I put a little bit of eyeshadow on today.
Glad to know I look like shit the rest of the days.
Yes, exactly. And like, whatever, I don't care. I choose not to wear makeup some days.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever.
I just, that one was more funny than anything. And it was just like so shocking that it was like 5 people on the same day.
Like every coworker.
I was like, yeah, okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Like,
Next
yep.
time you have a cup of coffee, be like, wow, Susan, you're not a bitch anymore.
I don't even think it was coworkers.
It doesn't matter.
I think it be mean to them too. I think it was more so just random ass people as usual.
Usually how it goes.
This one guy asked me how old my kids were. And I said, I don't have any. And so then he asked how old I was. And I was like 26. And he's like, oh, you just must look older than I thought. Like,
Thanks.
what did you just say?
My ovaries just dried out. Thank you.
And this was right after he had window jumped. He was talking to my other teller, then he moseyed on down to mine to see what I was up to and how old my kids were. And to insult me.
Yeah.
And I had just overheard him telling her, like, he had asked her something about her kids. And she was like, yeah, I have 14-year-old, a 21-year-old, and a 25-year-old. He's like, there is no way you have a 25-year-old, blah, 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 blah. Comes down to my window. Oh, you must just look older than I thought. Or, yeah, you look older
You could be like, I could be her
than you
kid.
are. Yeah. And I was like, all right, must be because I smoke, I guess. Getting those wrinkles early. So then another one, I was talking to a client about rebuilding credit, you know, at a bank.
As you do.
Where you have these conversations.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, pretty girl like you can just go into Kohl's or Macy's and get one of them pretty girl credit cards to pay off.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's the credit advice I needed
Just
from you. With
dropped
$3 in your bank account.
that ball of knowledge for me. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Like, why can't I get a Best Buy gift card?
Yeah.
I like music and Apple Watches.
Yeah. Barnes and Nobles. I read, damn it.
Mm-mm. I don't. I'm too pretty, remember?
Right.
I have to go to Kohl's or Macy's.
Pretty girls. Oh, man. Me and Anna just went to Barnes and Nobles today.
You're pretty. You can read. He's just dumb. Should I move on to new job or?
Whatever you feel like.
Well, just like a random people in town that I want to talk about here. There's a stranger in town that like friend requested me, and Sara laughed earlier because she remembered
Yeah.
me sending her screenshots. Don't know who he is. Had like 4 or 5 mutual friends with him, and he had liked like 20 of my pictures within seconds of each other, like my whole like notifications. Like I was like, what the fuck? Why do I have 30 notifications? Him liking my selfies from 2011.
Thanks, I was not even legal then.
Yeah, like I don't even know who it was. That was just really weird, and that happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like not to that extent. I don't know that anyone other than like my friends being dumbasses and wanting to blow me up. Like I don't think any other guy has liked like 20 pictures in a row.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I see ya and I'm
Yeah.
blocking ya.
Thanks. Now you're deleted, so
Yeah.
never see me again.
It was so weird. So just the other day, this is at New Job, so changing gears a little. A man went into my work, and while I was helping him, he like called me short, and we bantered back and forth. I was being nice, like friendly to him, and I don't even remember what I said to
Prompt this
response, but he said, if you were standing back there naked, you would really get my attention. Like, what? And he was an old man, like, nasty old man.
Yeah.
And, like, I was so mad. Like, first of all, why do people even think they can say that? Like,
yeah.
I can't even, like, channel that anger again. I was so mad. Like, I was shaking and, like, I don't know. I'm used to the comments. Like, as you heard, I've heard everything before.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't know. It just hit a nerve with me that day. I don't know what it was. I don't know if I was already, like, having an emotional day, but I was, like, freaking pissed because, like, it was very, like, blunt.
And super uncalled for.
Yeah.
Like, what? Nothing that you could have said previously could have prompted
Yeah.
that.
And, like, it wasn't even, like, I don't know. It was just, like, a knife. Like,
Yeah.
it was just, like, he went straight for me being naked. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Clearly, you're
What?
just a sex idol at that point in time.
Yeah.
Like nothing else.
like, I'm
you
not
don't have a brain.
here just to entertain you and be something that you can look at.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go off. Is it okay if I
Go
go
for it,
off?
yeah.
I'm about to go off. Okay.
Do it.
So the thing that makes me the most mad is that at work, we're like expected to like laugh off sexual harassment from customers. Like, we're just supposed to be like, ha ha ha, blah, 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 you know, shrug it off and get over it. And like literally everywhere I've worked, it's just like if you tell someone, they're just like, oh, well, take it as a compliment. It's just because they're old. Oh, that's just John.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sick of being told that. It puts you in the worst position, and they know it. Like, dudes or women saying inappropriate things, because Russell's gotten some too.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he worked in retail, like women would say crazy,
Very
ridiculous
lewd, yeah.
things to him. And like, they know you can't tell them off. They know you can't like do anything
you're
about
literally
it.
pinned in a corner
And-
at this point.
And like, that's why they do it. They just want to sit there and see you freaking squirm. And like, it's entertainment for them.
Yeah.
And it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the most infuriating feeling I've ever felt in my life, that I can't just be like, suck my dick, fuck you, when they say that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh, it'd be a lot better. You'd have my attention if you were back there naked. Yeah, because my dick's bigger than yours. Like, that probably would get your attention.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I say that?
Yeah.
That's all I want to say to them. Like, they get off scot-free.
Yeah.
And they just walk out there feeling like the man because they got a little comment in to the cute little
They got a rise out of you.
teller, hairstylist, dancer.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't imagine being like a stripper or an actress, because it's got to be way worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, strippers, whatever, you do what you do, you got to pay your bills. Like, they still don't deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're there to watch, not, you don't talk to them and say that stuff to them. Like, and like waitresses, like actresses, I can't imagine. It's so much worse, I'm sure. And like, I was a waitress for a little bit, but I like worked Sunday mornings and like Thursday nights. So like, I wasn't out there with all the drunken idiots, you know? But I mean, half the time they don't even have to be drunk. Like, they just say shit as we see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, none of us should have to feel uncomfortable at work, like, anytime someone walks in. At my last 3 jobs, it's happened to me and, like, the other girls. We would strategically, like, go to the bathroom when somebody was walking in. Like, if we saw their car pull up or saw them walking in, I was like, hey, go to the bathroom, so-and-so's coming in. And they, like, go hide because they creep them out so much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we had a list. We had an agreement. We would warn each other. We would take them for each other. Like, this specific guy would, like, wait on her. If I was like, hey, like, she'd have someone and I'm like, you can come over here. And he's like, no, I'll wait on her. Like, if she was present, he would wait on her.
Ugh.
So it eventually got to the point where it was go in the back or go to the bathroom when we saw him coming.
Yeah.
And like, you shouldn't have to live like 40 hours a week like that, you know?
Most
like, I
of
know
your
they're not
life.
in there 40 hours the entire week, but
Yeah.
in some cases your harasser is working with you
Mm-hmm.
and they are.
Yeah.
And like, you shouldn't have to do that. And I just feel like they're always getting excused. And
Mhm.
like, I've had women bosses almost only. So the fact that they're excusing these men's behavior, saying, oh, it's just their age, or oh, it's just how they are, like, is appalling. And like, I'm waiting for a boss that has the balls to lose a customer over their employees.
Yeah. The way it should be. I mean,
Because like, I don't understand why you would let somebody come in and like say things to your people time after time.
that makes uncomfortable because you literally just told them that and they come back with, oh, well, that's just Jon Snow.
Yep,
Like,
that's just how they are.
yeah, sorry.
You just have to get over it.
Yeah.
Like, it pisses me off.
Yeah.
And then like, that doesn't even account for like the people that have to work with racists and work with fucking, I can't think of the word, misogynists and just like those comments, which I have one of those, but you can go into your stuff first while we're on the topic of sexually harassing people.
Yes. Well,
That's all my
some
stories
stuff.
about naughty things
Yeah.
that gross people say.
yeah. So it says 54% of women experienced it. 30% said it involved a man. 23% said it was a superior. but fewer than 1 in 5 companies make efforts to teach us about it. Like, what sexual harassment and stuff like that actually is.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
It's behavior characterized by making unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances in a workplace or other professional environment. So, be it
Customers.
Yeah.
Little bitches.
Yeah.
And people you work with.
Yes.
Or vendors.
Yeah. They're oh yeah. Sometimes they're just as bad.
They're almost the worst,
Yeah.
actually.
There's a huge stigma about men coming forward because most of the guys are like, dude, you just got your dick wet, don't be a bitch about it, type of thing. Like, even if it was unwelcome by the person getting advanced on, like...
Because men are allowed to be sluts.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, man,
Yeah.
you got laid. And he's like, no, I actually got raped.
Yeah, I didn't
So-
want that even, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then...
You come out, boys. It's okay.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. The numbers were actually pretty close to being the same. It says 1 in 6 women, or 1 in 5 women, 1 in 6 men are.
Wow.
Yeah, so the numbers are pretty similar. But, like, back in the 70s, it was, like, 1 in 5 women and then 1 in 71 men.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the numbers have
Ladies
jumped.
are getting ballsy, too.
Yeah.
You better quit it.
Yeah.
We do not condone that behavior.
You better quit it.
I've had a little wine. What else you got?
If you are going to report someone, they said to keep notes. Very detailed. When it happened, what was said, who all was around you to see if you can get any witnesses.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. And then they said if you, like, tell your boss they're not doing anything about it and things keep persisting, you're supposed to contact an attorney. And if something does happen, your work has to pay for it.
Yeah. Because I know a lot of workplaces have, like, an ethics hotline or an ethics website where you can go and report that stuff. But, like, none of them really have it for, like, customers and clients. It's, like, kind of going off of what I was saying, like, we just have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, if Joe Schmo, the cashier's grabbing your ass every 5 minutes, they're just going to fire him.
Yeah.
But if a customer does it,
Yeah. They still want their money
What
down the road,
happens?
so.
yeah, like, I honestly don't know. So if you have a story you want to share, let us know.
Yeah.
It can be private.
Yeah.
Like, in our inbox. But, you know, like, can they kick him out of the store forever,
I
you
don't
know, over that? Like, I don't think they would, like,
Yeah.
most places. So, like, I don't feel like that's right. But
Yeah.
I work in customer service a lot. I haven't had to work in, like, the office setting where it could be someone in the office and things like that, because I'm sure that's also way challenging
Yeah.
because you have to be around them more. But just the things people say, I just don't understand why they say it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, go on.
98% of companies have sexual harassment policies in place. That only 8% of people feel comfortable coming forward and reporting accidents.
That ain't cool.
Yeah. And,
Why?
like, honestly, it's probably because we feel like I've already told my boss and my boss's boss, like, what else can I do?
Yeah.
Like, they just feel like it's not even worth it. Or they've heard their coworkers say, like, well, I already went because of Bobby, but I guess you can go too. But then they're like, oh, well, if nothing happened with you, nothing's going to happen with me.
Which sometimes it just takes, like, 4 people to come forward. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly wondering if in those situations it's more of, like, you have to tell your direct supervisor, because I get how that can be intimidating, but I know, like, the bigger corporations I've worked for, it's been, like, an anonymous hotline.
Yeah.
So, like, that's cool. But then, like, I can see going to, like, your store manager on your assistant manager and they're really close and, you know, they party together every weekend and, like, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, why would you even go do that?
You're like, it's not going to get me anywhere if I say
Yeah.
anything.
And,
so.
like, people are scared that they'll lose their jobs over reporting it, and that's probably why a lot of people don't.
I read, go ahead and do your story. I have a story later, though.
Okay. So I have another story, but it's not about sexual harassment. my story. I have a racist story and a discrimination story. So, go. So when I worked at the bank, it was around Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and we were going to be closed, and we had signs up that said, we will be closed for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So this older guy, older like grandpa age, not like 50s, like this old man came in, same man that talked about my hair being bleached, mind you. He came in and he said very loudly to the entire bank, "Oh, I see you're celebrating the N-word day." And like, I immediately got pissed. The lady I was helping, like, luckily she was like an everyday person, so I just like knew what she had to do. And like, she saw my face go red, and she like looked at me, and she like looked back at him, and she's like, "Oh." And then she looked at me again, and then she like went and started talking to him so that like he couldn't say anything else or rant about it, I guess. Yeah. Like, she changed the subject. But like, I was freaking fuming. Not only do you just not fucking say that,
yeah,
but we had a guy that worked there that did the investments. He was black, could have been right around the corner. One of our other tellers that was there sometimes, she was black. She could have been anywhere, even bent down. We had to bend down a lot.
Yeah.
So like, she literally could have just like popped up right when he said that. And I just, knowing she works there, he knew she's helped him.
Yeah.
Like, so why you would even come into that and say that, and why you think that's okay. Yeah. So then, after he left, I like went over to my branch manager and I was like, "Did you hear him?" And I was like pissed at this point still. And I almost went off on her, and she was like, "Oh, that's just him. That's just his generation." Like, oh, so he's allowed to be fucking racist. Okay.
That's cool.
And I was so mad. I still get mad thinking about it, because I cannot believe the audacity he had to just waltz in to a public place. Anyone could have been in there. And
not only are your employees of African American descent, your patrons could be too.
Yeah. Like, anybody could have been in there. And I was just like, oh my God, I cannot even believe it.
What did you just say? What?
Yeah. What did you just say? Exactly. So then yesterday I was at IGA getting donuts with some friends, and a man was behind me at the donut case, and he was on one of those motorized scooters. And the scooter was like held together by duct tape, mind you. Like, it wasn't a 5-star piece of equipment.
Around.
Yeah. And it was being driven by a clearly mentally disabled man. And I don't say that to be mean. I say it so you can better understand this story and why I think this happened. So we're staring at the donuts, and she walks up, or I think she was walking by him. She didn't like target him. She was just like walking by him. And she said, "Why are you on that scooter? Those are for people that need them." And he said he did need it, that he was tired from walking all day. And she says, "No, get off of it. We have people that need them. You don't need them." And he was like mumbling stuff under his breath about how like he had walked to a nursing home like twice today and clear across town and then over to here. And she was walking away, still like screaming across the front end, "Nope, nope, you don't need it. You don't need it." And
was
then
that an employee?
Yes.
Oh my God.
And then went and got on the register. And I just stood there at the donut case staring with my mouth open. I couldn't even like move.
I would have come unglued.
And I looked at Tyler and I'm like, I am literally sick to my fucking stomach.
Yeah.
And the dude walked out, and then we were getting donuts, and she didn't have a line, and Jamie was like, "Well, you want to go on the other line?" I'm like, "No, I'll fucking kill her."
Yeah.
Like, I have to stay right here.
Yeah.
Like, I was so mad. Like, I still am thinking about calling and saying something, but she wasn't wearing a name tag, so I don't even know who she was.
You could describe her.
Yeah, but oh my God, I was so mad. Like, I didn't talk the entire ride home. Like, I was just fuming. Like, I'm still just like, What?
I
What
wouldn't
did
have
you
been
just
able.
say?
Yeah.
Like, I just don't even understand why you would say that to anyone.
Yeah.
Even if it was a freaking 20-year-old person.
Yeah.
Like, you don't tell someone they don't need a cart and that somebody else needs it more.
Yeah.
If somebody else needed it more, it wouldn't have been available.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're not that busy right now. And I
like, even when you see a morbidly obese person using it at like Walmart, you don't tell them to get up.
Yeah. You don't say you don't need that, just walk.
Yeah.
And I think I think she even said you're just being lazy, but don't quote me on that. But it was bad, so I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't say that.
Yeah.
And I'm like sweating right now. Yeah. Like, I'm so mad. But I'm pretty sure she was like, you don't need it. You're just being lazy. You don't need it. As she was like walking away.
I would definitely call.
Because I was trying to listen to what he was saying. Because he was like mumbling under his breath. And he left, thankfully. He just walked out.
I would have too.
And oh my God. It was literally the most disgusting thing I've ever watched in my life. Well, didn't even watch. Just overheard.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch. Like.
If I had stuff in my hands, I probably would have just sat it down right where I was and walked out. Like, no.
Oh, my God. I was just like, and the thing at work happened like last week, and then this happened, and I'm like, I cannot wait to do this podcast because
people are disgusting.
Just anymore, people are just saying whatever the fuck they want, when and who to whoever that they want.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it. Like, where did our filters go?
Yeah. That's what always kills me is like, well, you would look better without those piercings, or you would look better without those tattoos. Oh, I'm sorry, Fred. I don't remember asking you about that, but thanks for your input. I really appreciate it.
Remember like the week ago, the lady at work told me that I wasn't African and that I needed to take my nose ring out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So, and I was pissed about that too. So then I was like, oh shit, because I usually do flip it up for work.
Yeah.
And it had fallen down, or I just forgot to flip it. And so I like ran something to the back, and I like flipped it real quick while I was back there, just because I usually do, honestly. Yeah. And she comes back to my freaking window and says, oh, thank you so much. You look so much better. Like, first of all, bitch, I didn't do it because you said something. You just reminded me to flip it back. Like, I forgot I hadn't done it. So then, I wanted to flip it back, and just to prove a point to her, like full on finger in there and just like, bink.
Yeah. Touch your brain and then come out.
But I didn't think of it, and I'm really mad that she came back because I didn't think she was going to. Yeah. And then she came back, and so I flipped it, and I was more mad that she thought I did it because of her. Yeah. And so now if I see her car pull up, I'm pushing it down,
flipping it out
just for her.
Yeah.
And like, I'll tell my boss I'll flip it for everyone but her because she's the one that's commented on it.
She'll be like, oh, that's just her.
Yeah. Ugh. I'll be like, I'm sorry. This is just me. I can't help it. It's just permanently in there. And she's like, oh, thank you for taking that out. As if I took my septum out in fucking 5 seconds. Yeah. Like, first of all, you're a dumb bitch. And second of all, you're a dumb bitch.
Let's just reiterate that point.
Yeah. You're a dumb bitch for saying it, and you're a dumb bitch for thinking I took it out. For your dumb bitch ass. But yeah, that was another one that I was just like, what did you just say? Yeah. Like, I cannot believe. Yeah. People say things to me. Yeah. Do you get a lot of comments about your hair?
All
being
the time.
Colored?
Yes. Yes.
Are they mean?
So, yeah, I usually get, well, when are you going to grow up?
Oh.
Yeah. Because I have colored hair. I'm a child.
Apparently. I would be like, honestly, it's really bad to put color in children's hair. Yeah. So, I'm full adult. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, I'd fucking knock someone out.
It's hard sometimes.
I can't wait to have teal hair.
Yeah.
Get a fucking middle finger tattooed on my forehead. Don't even say anything. See this? It means I don't fucking care.
You get bangs, and then when you're just having a bad day,
just flip them back.
Yeah. It's going to be one of those days. Yeah. My favorite thing is when people get, like, offended when you call them out on it. Like, if someone makes a rude or sexual joke or remark or something, you're supposed to play dumb. Be like, what do you mean?
Dude, I love that. I saw a thing that it was like a redheaded woman, and somebody had asked her if the curtains matched the drapes or something.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, what do you mean? And then they had to look like assholes sitting there explaining, I'm talking about your pubes, and I want to know if it's the same color as your hair.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you say it that way, it sounds really bad.
Yeah.
But I always thought that was awesome. But the only thing I ever get asked is my bra size, and I don't really know how to act confused about that.
Yeah. What do you mean?
What's a bra?
It's not a bra. I love that freaking video.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Or if they like walk in like, I want to bend you over that counter. I'm sorry, what? What do you mean? What does that mean? And then they have to act
I'm
really,
not very flexible. Start twirling your hair.
maybe you should stop bleaching it.
Yeah. It's going to snap right off.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, your hair always looks good. Like, it's not like it's gross. But anyways, that's my job to tell you. Like, stop bleaching your hair.
Yeah, I don't know. He was a cock. Obviously. He was racist too.
Sounds like a great person.
Yeah. Also, don't message me and ask me who these people are, because I'm not going to tell you.
I might. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh, goodness. But I do have a pissed pump story.
Oh, yes, she does.
I didn't want to do this. Sarah's making me do this. So we were talking about our podcast earlier and what we were going to talk about tonight, and just kind of going over what we had. And so I was getting all mad all over again, like I have now, because just thinking about this stuff gets me going. And
Yeah,
I
just
get a text
hashing.
message. I get a text message from a friend. And it's that 2 people that decided they didn't want to be my friend went to jail. So that is my awesome good karma for the day. Probably the week, maybe the year.
Yeah, it was pretty
And yeah, that's basically kept me in a good mood all day today.
Yeah.
So, haha, I'm not in jail.
Oh, my.
And that's all I have to say about that. And that Taylor Swift is shining down on me.
She is. Rainbows.
Because there's nothing she does better than revenge. And that's all I got today.
Yeah. I do have a slogan that I kind of came up with, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
It says, cleavage to your waist has a time and place.
What?
Cleavage to your waist
Okay.
has a time and place.
Like I should keep it covered? Keep
Yeah.
cleavage to my waist? I'm confused.
You know how like the shirts go way down and like show your
yeah.
cleavage? I said that has a time and a place. Like you can wear
Okay.
it, just not all the time.
Okay. I'm too chubby.
Me too.
But for you girls that can pull it off,
J-Lo looking at you.
don't wear it to the office.
I was just joking though.
I liked it. It rhymed.
Yeah, I was pretty proud of it.
Cleavage to your waist has a time and a place. You have any new news to update?
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
She's got green hair now.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
pretty
3
exciting.
and a half years old. that one I think has stuck with me the most. Like that just pissed me off. Like when are you gonna grow up? Never, Barbara.
Yeah.
Goes off and slams my door.
Fuck you, Karen.
Yeah. God. And like, why does fun hair why do you have to be a child to have fun hair?
Yeah.
Like, I put purple in my grandma's hair.
I was going to say old ladies get to have purple hair and blue
Yeah.
hair. Why
Yeah.
can't we have green
Exactly.
at 27?
Yeah.
Sarah's 27 now.
Mm-hmm.
Whoop, whoop.
Thanks.
She just had a birthday.
Last week.
Yeah.
I'm in my late 20s now, guys.
My old lady.
Damn it.
Yeah. So I'm creeping. I'll be there in a few months.
Yes.
in December when it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate my birthday.
I have a good birthday. So does Corey in the fall.
Yeah. And you went to see Hootie Hoot?
Hootie and the Blowfish and then the Bare Naked Ladies.
How's that?
It was freaking fantastic. It was so good.
Yeah, I like Hootie. I didn't really like Darius. As stupid as that is.
He
Darius
played Wagon
Rucker.
Wheel.
Yeah, of course he did.
Yeah.
He was the opener in the first concert I ever went to, and I went to the bathroom when he was playing,
Yeah,
and then I didn't even know who he was, and then I like Googled him, and then I was like, oh, it's fucking Hootie. I wish I would have listened to him.
Yeah.
But I didn't, and I didn't like any of his songs as Darius, so.
Yeah. It reminded me of the good old days.
The good old days.
Yeah.
What, like being in 7th grade and riding bikes?
Yeah.
Like.
I think we might have been a little younger, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. You said you and Corey were like the youngest people there, which blows my mind.
Yeah. Like everybody was like struggling with their phones, trying to take pictures. They were moving our glasses up and down, like with their bifocals to see. It was so funny. I told Corey, I was like, we're definitely.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. They were like our parents' age and older.
I cannot believe that. Like,
Yeah.
I've always liked Hootie.
Yeah. Like, there might have been a few people younger or same age as us, but most of the people were like 30s and up.
That's crazy. I'm trying to look up. They originated in 1986.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My mom
we
was
weren't
like
quite born yet.
18 when they came out.
But, like, their main songs, like, their really good ones, Only Want to Be With You, Hold My Hand, that was all, like, 94.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, we were 2. I remember listening to them.
Yeah.
Them and Goo Goo Dolls, which I thought they were touring with Goo Goo Dolls, but I was clearly wrong. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Alrighty. Well, this has been a short one.
Yeah.
I thought we'd definitely ranted more, but I don't know. Just if you feel like you're being sexually harassed, tell somebody. Because you don't deserve to live in discomfort.
Mm-mm.
And, like, yeah, for now I pretty much have to get over it. But if you work with somebody and they're being gross, tell somebody.
Yeah. And I don't care if it is
Even if it's me, I'll beat him up.
John Doe. Like, you need to tell him. Like, every time they walk in and he says something you don't like, then tell the supervisor. I don't care if you tell him 15 times. Like, as long as you're trying and doing what you can to feel better, then keep doing it.
Yeah, it's like dealing with, like, the school bully.
Yeah.
Except they're gross now. Mm-hmm. They're not just, like, pulling your hair. They're, like, picturing you naked.
Mm-hmm. And pulling your hair.
What? Gross. No, for real, we're not making light of it, though. Tell somebody.
Yeah.
And I think that's all I have. Check and see if your work has an anonymous hotline where you can talk to somebody, too. Because sometimes you just have to know it's going to be okay that you talk to somebody. And having to talk to somebody you work with every day, I can
and if it's your
get
like,
is intimidating.
Yeah. And if it's the boss at like the highest point of your place of employment, just go above their head. They have to have a boss.
Yeah.
Like, find out. Never feel like you can't because of how much power they have.
Mm-hmm.
Because no amount of power at a place should take power over like your everyday life.
Yeah. You shouldn't have to be miserable because your boss sucks. And is a gross old man.
Yeah. Or woman.
Or woman. That's true. Women are gross.
Yeah.
They're just not gross to me, so.
Yeah.
Like, can't relate, but, like, I know they are.
Yeah.
I just have to condition myself to know they are.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like, there were some gross old ladies that would come in and flirt with people at where I worked before and hang all over them and slobber on them and stuff. And I'm like, that's so unsolicited. Like, how can people allow this to happen?
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. And, like, another thing I was going to comment on that I just thought of, if I witness, like, a significant other being, like, physical with another person and I'm on the clock, like, I've asked what I'm supposed to do about that and stuff like that. Every place of employment where I've worked has said, just look the other way.
Oh.
Pretty much verbatim. Like, if I see something going on,
Just
I'm
mind
just
your
supposed
business.
to, yeah. Because then if I get involved, it's going to be some big to-do, and I
That's
shouldn't. But
insane.
the one time I did witness something, I said something. And it was one of those where, like, the husband was grabbing a hold of the wife really hard, and I just walked down and I was like, hey, how can I help you guys with anything? And he's like, you can walk away. And I was like, well, I said, I saw you putting your hands on your wife, so I just wanted to come over here and make sure she was all right. Like, pretty much just straight up told him.
Wow.
And he's like, who's your supervisor? And I was like, pointed to whoever was on duty. And I said, you can tell him your side of the story. I said, but I'm sure to tell him my side too, so we'll see what happens. Like, I wasn't even kind of upset. Like, if I got fired, I didn't care. But, like, he looked like he was going to punch her in the face, so
yeah. And
I decided to step in.
That's always scary for me, because then I don't know if she's going to get it worse at home or whatever.
And that's ultimately, like, why they told us not to. Like, we can report it, and, like, they can send off pictures to the police, so that way if anything does happen, we can be like, yeah, well, it started at our store. Then.
Yeah.
But
there was one time I had to call the police on this couple that was having, like, a fist fight either right outside of our store or in it. And she bloodied his nose.
Oh.
Like, he was being abused. Like, it was so crazy. And I mean, he didn't hit her back or anything, but she was, like, beating his ass.
Yeah.
And I, like, straight up asked him if he wanted me to call the police and stuff, and she was screaming at me to mind my own business, and, like, it was none of my concern, and there was, like, kids with him, and he was like, yeah, call him.
Yeah.
So I did. Like, I mean, he's the one on the ground bleeding.
Yeah.
So I don't know what ended up happening, because once the cops got there, I did leave him alone because she was being crazy, but I was like, I'm going to let you deal with this now. And I left.
Yeah.
But
there's no reason for you to get crap beat out of you, too. But
yeah. But, yeah, she was hitting him and bloodied his nose. And I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like, more so that she was so psycho that she bloodied his nose.
Yeah.
Like, and I think she was drunk. I can't remember. It was all real messed up. Yay, retail.
Yeah.
See all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. Oh, especially working at a freaking salon. You got all walks of life in there. Especially like a chain one. Oh, God.
Yeah, and they're all oversharing.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I should charge you way more for this haircut just because I've learned way too much about you. Yeah.
That's why haircuts are so expensive. It's the therapy, too.
Right. Yeah.
Do y'all take insurance?
Oh, Lord. Should apply for a care credit and be like, it's for my haircut. It's like, hello.
It's my therapy.
They're good for me.
Yeah. That's funny. Do you have any final thoughts?
Yes, but let me find it.
Okay. Sarah's looking for her thought.
Yeah. Excuse me. This was a post on Facebook, and it said, I've had a male friend ask me before what an appropriate compliment is. So here is an actual, not even joke trick. Combine cool, rad, or awesome with an attribute that the woman has control over. I have never been offended by you have rad hair or your boots are cool. And it says at the bottom, the key is something that they have control over. They choose their hair, their clothing, makeup, tattoos, shoes, not their lips, eyes, or figure. I super appreciate someone complimenting things I choose to represent me.
Yes.
And I really, really like that.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Because it means more too, because you're like, oh, they like these boots and I picked these boots out.
I chose to wear these boots today with
like,
this outfit.
I'm aware I have huge boobs. You don't have to tell me.
Yeah.
But if you like my boots, that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you have a rad rack, Cassie. Hey, I use rad.
Cool boobs. Yeah, see, it doesn't work.
It's kind of still insulting.
Yeah, it's got to be something we picked out. Yeah. That is nice. Something I saw on Facebook, two things that I thought were really cool was, one was his nephew was saying, oh, I got turned down by this girl, and it might have been her nephew. I don't know who made the post, but they were talking to their teenage nephew, and he said that a girl turned him down. And he goes, you know what you should do now? And he goes, I know, keep trying. And they said, no, she gave you an answer. Stop. Leave her alone. And he had never been told that before, because everyone's all like, oh, keep trying. No, that's how you make a stalker. Quit it. Stop telling them that. If a girl says no, it means no.
Yeah.
Like, same with you people saying inappropriate things.
Yeah.
If they tell you to stop, stop.
Yeah.
And then another thing I saw was some guy was, bitching about how he got friend zoned, and they were like, think about it this way. This girl thought that she had a friend that like didn't want anything else from her, just other than her time and company, and they had a lot in common, and she told him all of her secrets, and then suddenly he only wants to have sex with her and doesn't want to be her friend with her unless he can have sex with her.
Yeah.
And it's like, you may have been friend zoned, but you girlfriend zoned her first. Because she only saw you as a friend. You're the one that was interested in her first, so you can't get mad when you start seeing her that way and she doesn't feel the same way.
100% agree.
So I thought that one was really cool too.
Yeah.
Because I just like seeing things that's like a different way to look at them. And you can't be friend zoned if you don't put yourself in the position to want them as a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Because girls get friend zoned. So yeah, if you don't put yourself in that position, then you can't be friend zoned. Don't just want them for sex. They want you as a friend.
Yeah.
Be their friend.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say today.
Yeah. Also, don't get mad if someone like asks you out and then you're like, oh no, sorry, I have a significant other, and then they're like, oh well, you're so and so, why don't you come out with me? Do they have a problem with opposite, same, whatever sex friends or whatever? And I was like, no, but I have more respect for them than to go out with you and even attempt at a friendship or something. Like, it's just not worth it.
There's been a few people, like, if you either ignore them or turn them down, they get mad.
Yeah, automatically like, fat, ugly, dumb.
Yeah, and
bitch,
it's like, I'm not interested in you, and that makes me a terrible person.
Yeah.
Okay.
You liked me 5 seconds ago when you thought I was gonna do whatever.
If I was mad at every guy that wasn't interested in me, I'd hate everyone. I'd hate the whole world. Yeah. Except Russell, because he kind of likes me.
Sometimes, yeah.
But, like, I don't understand how guys can get mad when girls turn them down. So insulted,
yeah. And, like, we get it. You put yourself out there. You took a risk, whatever. But don't be a douche about it.
Yeah, just be like, okay, well, I think you're pretty, and have a nice day.
Just know my feelings, and I'm moving on.
Exactly. You don't have to call her every name in the book. Fuck.
And, like, maybe if something, God forbid, happens to that person, they'll think of you and that you were a gentleman, and then maybe have a shot if something happens.
Yeah.
Like, but if you're a dick from the beginning, like...
Yeah, because
definitely not going to think about you if anything happens to you and your significant other.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, you can't even tell a guy that you have a boyfriend. And there you go, cool, well, you were fat anyway. And it's like, my boyfriend's fine with me being fat, so you can fuck off. Yeah. Like, I didn't need your opinion. Yeah. Like, I don't know, guys are just crazy. And, like, it's always the ones that send you, like, 4 hays in a row.
Mm-hmm. And then the unsolicited dick pic. Yeah.
And it's like, get the message. Like, no message is a message. Yeah. So you don't have to do it 4 in a row. We're just not. Just give up then.
And that's 2 things I've learned.
And they're like, I wasted so much time on you. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't have.
Yeah.
I gave you no inclination that I wanted your time.
You were even trying, yeah. Yeah. But one is no answer is an answer. Mm-hmm. And another one is no is a complete sentence. You don't have to give reasons. Mm-hmm. You just no should be an answer and should be accepted across the board.
And like, if you ask why, you're just asking for your feelings to get hurt, because I'm going to tell you.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, there was a guy that I worked with, and he wanted me to take him to his apartment. Like, it was on the way home. It would have been fine, but, like, I didn't know him very well. Mm-hmm. And I just got a weird vibe from him. And I was like, no, I think we were just dating at the time. I was like, no, my boyfriend's expecting me to be home. Like, I tell him when I leave, like, he's controlling you. Like, he has to know when you get home. I was like, no, I've just already told him, like, I'm on my way home. He knows how long it takes me to get home type of thing. And then I realized, like, I shouldn't have had to explain myself to you. Like, just no, I'm going home. Yeah. But I felt like I needed to defend my answer so I didn't upset him. Mm-hmm. And, like, it shouldn't have to be that way. I shouldn't have to give you 20 reasons as to why not. Like, one reason is good enough.
And the fact that he turned it around on Corey to, like, what did he expect you to be like, yeah, you know what? He is fucking controlling. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go. Yeah. Like, let's just run away together.
What? Like, why he would even think that was a tactic to get you there. Like, none of your, like, my relationship, first of all, is none of your business. And second of all, like, you can't just assume things. And third of all, what outcome did he expect? You to agree with him? Like,
but I'm like, no, I just told him like 5 minutes ago I was leaving. And like I said, we've lived together for a while. He knows how long it takes me to get home, and I don't want him to be worried that something happened, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, well, can't you just tell him you're dropping me off? I said, I already told you I'm not taking you, so I don't have to tell him anything. And then just got in my truck and left.
Yeah. Leave me alone. God.
It was shortly after he quit, so I don't know what happened, but I was real not happy that he kept asking.
Yeah. That's super annoying. Like, just quit.
Yeah.
No means no.
Don't ask again. But, like, it's triggered from a young age. Like, when our parents told us no, we had to know why.
Or we'd annoy him until we got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And, like...
That's why.
You shouldn't...
Now I'm pissed at all your parents, too.
Yeah. Gosh dang it. And, like, now I get it, because it's a solid answer. Like, no, why? Because. That's my answer.
Yeah.
No. Like, you don't need another answer. And
I said no, that means no, fuck off.
Yeah.
Even if you're my kid.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you to fuck off.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we should wrap up then.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you have any stories you want to share, get up in our DMs on the Twitter at Drafty Dames. And if you have any piss to pump stories you want to share, give us those. Got one a few weeks ago, and it was pretty funny. It wasn't really a piss to pump story. Her daughter was just pissed about the dog pooping on the floor. So she sent me a video of her daughter being pissed, and that was very entertaining.
It was
I loved it.
Funny.
So yeah, send us some of those, and we will talk at you later. Bye. Squat scratch quota.